Welcome to this short demo on how to use the gold standard SDG impact tool. As contributions to the Sustainable Development Goals have become more important among carbon credit buyers and funders, we have developed a tool to help project developers and auditors more efficiently monitor, quantify and verify a project's contributions to the SDGs. The tool provides a standardised template to clearly and transparently monitor SDG impact alongside carbon reductions, streamlining the process, making it easier and less expensive to measure SDG impacts quantitatively, while still ensuring that impact claims remain credible, consistent, and meaningful. Currently, the tool is based in Excel. In a next phase, we are planning to digitalise these tools to make it easier to use and to better integrate it into our standard documents. But right, let's get straight into the tool. So, as you can see, there's a number. When opening the tool, you'll notice several tabs along the bottom. The tabs highlighted in red here are for background information only. So they include information that supports the tool, including the list of indicators, project types, and links to resources, and can be used at any time to provide more information or as a source of reference. The tab named BA stands for Background Assessment, if I can click on it, and provides more in-depth information on these indicators and how they are applied. And then we have a mapping tab just next to it, which provides the functionality for the SDG tool, but it also provides a good snapshot of the indicators per project type, if you're interested in seeing that. Then on the left-hand side here, we have a Readme tab. So this provides brief instructions of how to use the tool and should be read, or we encourage this tab to be read before filling out the impact assessment tab. And then on the far right, we have a use case. So this is an impact assessment that's already fully filled out, and we've included this to provide a source of reference or an example of how this assessment should be completed. We've also created some project-specific case studies to show how this tool can be applied in practice, and we've created a step-by-step user manual. These can be located under our featured requirements section in the Gold Standard for the Global Goals website, so where we host all our standard documentation. Okay, so let's go where the magic happens in impact assessment. So users only need to fill in the cells that are coloured light grey or dark grey drop-down boxes with the white text. Essentially, there are 5 steps which have been clearly marked to help guide you through this process. So step 0 is the key project information. So, for example, the project ID, the current project status, crediting period, dates, etc. Step 1 is where you select the project type. So you can do this from a drop-down box, as you can see here. The links on the side here take you back to that background tab I talked about earlier on in this demo, where you can find more information on the project types, SDGs, and categories available. Step 2 is where you pick the preferred method for monitoring impact, and you can do this from a drop-down list. So there's 2 options. You can monitor by impact category. So this is useful for those developers who have a clear idea of the project and the impacts they want to achieve. So, for example, reduce emissions and improve air quality. These are listed similar to the current gold standard for the global goals documentation. The other option is to use the SDG method. So this method is more relevant for those who are familiar with the SDGs and want to assess impact to specific SDGs. These are listed as per the 17 Sustainable Development Goals available under the Global Goals. You'll notice here a little red sign. This is because all gold standard projects need to contribute to SDG 13, which is climate action. So this is just highlighting that this parameter is for climate action. It's worth also noting that the same approach or method, so i.e. whether you choose by category or choose by SDG, should be applied across all parameters being assessed to ensure consistency in monitoring. Now we get to step 3. Step 3 is where you select the relevant monitoring indicators from the drop-down list. So under climate action here, you have 2 available indicators, as you can see. And then if you look on the right here, I've already populated this with gender equality, and there are a number of other pre-included indicators there. So based on the category or SDG selected, the tool, as I've just shown you, automatically populates the relevant list of default monitoring indicators. You can then choose the indicator you would like to monitor from this list. You repeat this step until you have all the indicators you would like to assess included in this document. Step 4. So step 4, if I can find it or see it, there we go. Step 4 here. This is where you read and you follow the guidelines to design the monitoring and reporting plan for selected indicators. So these guidelines provide a snapshot of the relevant impact indicator, SDG, the SDG targets, what the purpose of the indicator is, how assessment and monitoring should be conducted, limitations associated with any parameters, and other reference sources that could provide useful information or detail for decision making. On the left here, there's a little link which takes you back to those background information tabs where you can have more in-depth information on the guidance and the calculation and other considerations. And then the last step, step 5, this is where you complete the project level assessment to quantify the sustainable development contributions selected for the selected monitoring indicators. So it's where you put your project data. So there's a brief description there on the left hand side and some notes that could help support you fill in this section. You can also copy and paste those relevant indicators from step 4 down into step 5, but this is where you put your data. So once this tool has been filled in, you're happy with it, you can submit it alongside your other project documentation to SustainCert or your auditor or to Gold Standard directly, and then it will go with all your other project documentation. We thank you for listening to this demo. I hope it was useful. If you do have any further questions or queries about this tool, please feel free to email us at help@goldstandard.org. Thank you very much. Bye bye.